Hello, everyone. I am so freaking pumped up for tonight's Zoom. You guys have no idea. I reached out to Allie and I was like, hey, please do a Zoom for me. And she was like, yeah, of course. And if you don't know Allie, she is just like the sweetest person ever. To know her is to love her. And you guys are just going to fall in love with her story and just her heart. And she has so much fire to give. And I'm just so excited for you guys to learn from her. So, Allie, if you want to go ahead and just share your story first, and then we'll go from there. Let me see if I can find.
Okay. Hi, guys. Yay. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for having me on. This is so fun. Oh gosh, no, I don't want to record. I just want to see the chat. Okay. It's like the Zoom is yelling at me. Hi guys. Yes, so often we get to do Zooms for other teams and teams kind of not related to ours, but you guys are like close sideline. And then I know lots of other people are jumping on here too. So thanks for opening it up. So hi everyone. My name is Antonacci. Um, I have been with the business for 7.5 years. It was July 2013 when I started. My journey did not start July 2013. My journey started about 9 months earlier when I started seeing posts. I started getting messages. I started um, telling someone, sure, I'll have a party, and then ghosting her, and sure, I'll try the product, and then ghosting her, and sure, I'll join your team, and then ghosting her. And I was so enamored with what she was doing, you guys. I was completely consuming her content. I was watching every single post, but I can promise you, one, but I couldn't get enough of what she was doing because I was a nonprofit fundraiser. My husband was in sales. We, had the house, 2 cars. Our daughter was in daycare, a boatload. Our daycare cost as much as our mortgage. And on the outside, it was like, that's the American dream, right? So our American dream looked picture perfect. On the inside, we were struggling, like really, really struggling, you guys. I was a nonprofit fundraiser, like I said. So my paycheck would hit my bank account, and the next day, my mortgage would come out, the daycare for the month would come out, and our car payments would come out, and I would have $7 left. That was my paycheck. So that was all it was. Then my husband's paycheck, he was in sales. So there were great months and there were bad months. And every bill, every credit card, every grocery, every date night, every anything we wanted to do had to come out of his check. So on good months, we'd play catch up. And on bad months, things had to go down on credit cards. And the thing was, I was so enamored with this business. I was enamored with the idea of network marketing. I was enamored that like things like this could work. I didn't get it, didn't really understand the products. I kind of thought she was photoshopping pictures of wraps, but I couldn't stop watching. So finally, I reached out to her and I kind of said, I don't really get what you're doing, but I want to know more about it. I think I should be doing this too. We kind of talked a little. I still balked. I still was like, no, bad timing. And I waited even a couple more months and I said, okay, what gives? Because you guys, I had a $10,000 credit card limit and it was almost maxed out. And so she one day on a piece of paper, just in a Sharpie, posted, she said, my goals for the rest of the year. And it said, things like go double diamond. That meant nothing to me. I didn't know what that was. But one of them said, pay for cash to a trip to Atlantis for my family. And Atlantis in the Bahamas is like a really legit trip, guys. It's like, that's a very expensive place to go. And she had 3 children at the time. So I'm like, that's like a really like big deal. Like we had never gone on a vacation without putting it on a credit card and paying it off or using a tax refund for it. So I finally reached out to her because she had been posting about a $10,000 bonus. And God works in funny ways like that. Like I had a $10,000 credit card balance and I just kept seeing a $10,000 bonus. And I finally said, okay, I'll do whatever you tell me I have to do. And when I don't hit that and when I don't get that $10,000 bonus, I'm going to quit and you can't be mad at me. So like we weren't in college and he was a fraternity. Like she hadn't gone to school with us. Like, so I only met her a few times really in person, but I just couldn't stop watching. She was so consistent, you guys. She was so consistent. And so I joined. I maxed out that credit card. I probably went over the limit, honestly, to pay the $99. Um, and I joined on July 2nd, 2013. And she's like, okay, great. Here's how you're gonna post. Here's what you're gonna do. Here's your first goal. Y'all, I didn't have there was no Zoom. Zoom didn't exist. There was no team page. I think I was added to a team page that was like from a sideline ambassador who had created one. The training talking being about being the compliance sheriff, awful. Like, so I mean, I just had to figure it out. I didn't I just had to like talk to people and I didn't post anything. And she's like, okay, do you want some help? Like, what are you doing? And what it came down to was right before I joined, I had sent my best friend a message and I said, hey, I'm going to join this company because I could really use the extra money. I didn't really want to tell anybody I needed extra money. And she said, well, all that shit's a scam. So, of course, I support you in whatever you do, but I don't want to hear about it. And all I could think about was she's going to see me post on Facebook and she doesn't want to hear about it. And then I was like, oh, and I don't want to deal with my mother. Gross. Then I'm like, what is my father-in-law, who's kind of a jerk sometimes, gonna say? So then I just froze. I did nothing for like a week. And then I was like, okay, there has to be bills. I have to figure this out. So I was on Facebook and I was messing around. I figured out there was a custom setting where I could block specific people from my career with It Works. I blocked my mom, my brother, my best friend, any coworker that I worked with because I didn't want them to see how much I was working or that I was posting during the day. My father-in-law, my husband's aunts and uncles. So you know that immediate circle that's supposed to support you? I knew they were going to be such jerks that I actually blocked them completely from my business. Um, and my husband was kind of a jerk face about it all, but he just was so like, all his friends like, what is your wife doing? What is all this? And he's like, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of dumb. It's whatever. And I mean, we got into it a little bit, a few times. And I finally had to say, you don't have to love it. You got to love me through it. I would never do anything to hurt our family. I'm trying to financially help us. And you don't have to understand it, but you have to understand that there's a bigger purpose for me doing this. And I'm going to be honest, those first 6 months, you guys, my family did not support me. My best friend and I went through a very, very hard season, and we finally had to be like, if we're still going to be friends, like we have to work through this. It took years until she got drunk on wine one night and started crying, telling me how proud she was. 4.5 years in this business before a single member of my husband's massive extended Italian family. I go to family things, family events still, and my father-in-law, people like that don't even, not how's business, how's things, any of that. None of it. Who cares? I don't need them to understand what I do. So anyway, I go tangents. So Courtney just like keep interrupting me. So my story, that's where it starts. And that's a really important part because I had to decide like these people's opinions don't matter. These people's opinions don't pay my bills. So, but I told my sponsor, I'll do anything you tell me to do. And she said, you have to go to this event. You have to around the country in different locations. And it was near St. Louis. I said, I don't have the $50. I don't have a babysitter. My husband's in a golf tournament that day. And she's like, you got to figure it out. You told me you would do it. So she's like, if you find a babysitter, I'll pay for your ticket. I said, okay. So she bought my $50 ticket. And I found my best friend, the hater. She did come watch my kid for me that day. And I went and I sat, you guys, I did not wear black and green. It was all black, green, and bling back then. I did not wear black and green. I got there and everybody's like dripping and it works. And legitimately, you guys, in my brain, I'm like, why would they be dressed like this? Like, don't they all know that we're here for the same reason? Like, why are they identifying themselves like this? Like, I was so confused. I was wearing this like tan and black, like maxi dress. I still remember it perfectly. And I was like, what is wrong with these people? And I sat there like arms crossed, like whatever. And Slowly throughout the day, my arms came uncrossed, and slowly throughout the day, I started leaning in because I promised that I would at least be present. And so I, because it's not the days of social media now where you're like constantly on your phone. I was there, and I heard Mark, I heard Pam, I heard some people give ambassador speeches. I heard a debt-free panel. I heard somebody talk about being a lawyer and had been drowning in debt and from all her student loans. But you guys, there was one panel who I think it was Pam maybe interviewing people, and it was when Cami was still a distributor, and Cami and Denise Walsh were sharing the little white chair. It's so funny because they never put two people in that chair. They were like cozied into that chair together. And she said, Cami, how did you know this business was for you? How did you know that this is where you were supposed to be? And she said, because I never wanted someone else to tell me when I could or could not see my kids. You guys, I had been dropping my daughter off at 6:40 in the morning. I was lucky to pick her up by 4:30 in the afternoon. And then she was exhausted. She was eating 2 meals and 2 snacks a day. I was feeding her dinner and then bath and bed. I was getting no time with her. I wasn't enjoying any good version of her. She was 2. And I looked at my sponsor, just tears just rolling down my face. And I said, I will be on that stage next year. And I think she was like, okay. And I was like, watch me. And honestly, what I need to do is like scroll way, way, way back in my messages. Cause then that day I met Chantel. She was a presidential. Little did I know I was about to be a Ruby on her ambassador chart. At the very, very, I was the last Ruby needed. I met people that day. I have pictures of these people. I'm like, I had no idea who they were. And I friended Chantel that day. And the first message I ever sent her was, how do you get on stage at these events? And I think she was like, I think they just send questions in an email. Like she had no idea. They don't. They literally corporate like just fix people. And so because I was determined, and you guys, I was ignorance on fire. I went Ruby that month. I did sign a few people. I signed plenty of, I signed my 4 customers to get my free product. I had read that you needed to run an auto ship by the 17th of the month. You guys, I hadn't made a freaking dime. Little did I know I was commission qualified my first month. I ran an auto ship my first month, like 2 weeks after, because I was told I had to. I was told that that's how you were successful in this business. So I did. Didn't have the money, figured it out. I sold the wraps that came in my kit. I sold those. I posted god awful pictures. People would say, what are you doing? I would send them paragraphs this long of just giant run on sentences. One girl said, no, I don't want the products. I want to do what you're doing. I said, okay. Sent her a bunch of random stuff. Don't even know how it happened. She joined my team. Little did I know she would end up being a significant partner in my business for a period of time. She's not in the business anymore. That's fine. Everybody's in your business for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And the further into this business I get, I'm realizing that you guys, of all those distributors I signed early in my business, the oldest active DT is my husband, who I signed my 3rd month in the business. Like, and that's fine. So that first month I went Ruby. I was a Ruby for Chantel to go ambassador. I still don't even know how it happened. I don't know. I did have 2 people like placed under me my first like day, but and then like I signed 2 people, and then like they started like growing to Ruby, and then I kind of helped those 2. I don't know. I don't even remember. I don't know how it happened. Like I was not built though. I will tell you that. Like I was given those first 2 people because we all signed up on the same day, and I was not built. I really took leadership within those people immediately. They were in my organization. They were part of my team. So I went Ruby. My first Ruby paycheck was $403, and I had gotten a fast start bonus that month. So that's crazy. That's high. That is really high. But my GB, my first month, I'm sorry, not my GB, my personal volume, my first month was like 600 or 700 because I had a lot of customers. I had run my own auto ship. I and some of the people under, um, the next month I went emerald. The next month I went diamond. I hit diamond in 88, 89 days, something like that. And you guys, the thing is, right now we think, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to get there? Who can really do that? What? I mean, gosh, I'm not good enough at that. I'm not smart enough at social media. I can't do the TikToks like her. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not funny enough. Now, those are all limiting beliefs. And I had none of them. I didn't know anything about network marketing. So I didn't have any reason to believe that from executive to ambassador, that was anything other than a ladder that you climbed. Before I even joined the business, you guys, I had memorized those average pay amounts on that chart. And I laid awake in bed thinking, if I went this rank, then I went this rank, then I went this rank, how fast I could pay off our credit card. It's like, what? What world? I didn't have any clue that anyone wouldn't be successful in network marketing. I didn't have any idea that there was any reason that everybody couldn't go to the top. And that's how we need to treat our new team members. That's the belief we need to instill in our teams, because there's not. The only thing that stops anyone from going from distributor to ambassador is their own limiting beliefs. And it's all in here. And I can tell you that I simply was so freaking excited because I watched those people on stage and I knew there was zero difference between me and them. And I was going to go do what they did. So I went ruby, I went emerald, I went diamond. I got my $10,000 bonus. The next month I helped somebody on my team go diamond. And then the month after that, I went double diamond. And then from there, I knew it was time for me to start growing my husband's team and making him, so I could go triple, making him diamond. I signed a lot of people. You guys, the one thing I did in the first probably 2 years at least of my business, maybe more. I should get back to this. Never asked a single person to be a customer. I never messaged someone to be a product tester. I never asked if someone messaged me about a product because they had seen me personally using my products, taking pictures, posting results, absolutely, I would sell them products all day long. I never messaged someone saying, hey, girlie, I'm looking for a few testers. Nope, I asked every single person to join my team. Because if they told me no, then I had already planted the seed and I was going to talk to them about being a distributor. Like, that conversation feels a little backwards. Like, start with the big ask and then scale down. So I went double diamond, and then 9 months into the business, I went triple diamond. I hit, it was my first ever 5-figure paycheck. That was crazy. We were on a beach in Jamaica when I got that, and I've been reading the book Beach Money, and it just all was making sense. And then I went presidential a couple months after that. And the thing was, 1 year to the day from when I had been at that event in St. Louis was green carpet in Florida that summer. And it was my first green carpet. I had gone to conference in January that year. So 6 months in as a double diamond, I did go to conference. Life-changing. Again, you guys, an event changed my business. Had I not gone to that event, you guys, I probably would have quit. I never would have had a vision. You have to get to events. You have to plug into the corporate team. You guys, after dropping my daughter off, I drove 45 minutes back and forth each day. I listened to recordings of Show Me the Money calls. There weren't Zooms. I was literally listening to like conference call recordings. Show Me the Money calls. I was watching YouTube videos. I was, there was not a million people just giving information. You just figured it out. Audiobooks were literally still on CDs. There was no Audible. So I make myself sound so old, but I will say that 1 year to that day of being in that room crying, saying I'm going to be on that stage, I walked across stage at green carpet as the number 56 earner in the entire company as a brand new presidential. I claimed it. I manifested it. You guys, there's no other way to describe it. other than I simply decided that's what was going to happen. I didn't know that it was abnormal. I didn't know that it was hard. I didn't know that most people wouldn't. All I knew is that I was. I was doing it. I was going. I was going as hard and as fast as I possibly could. I never sold anything in my life. Well, I lied right out of college. I did a really horrible job selling phone call marketing to car dealers. Was not very good at that. And other than that, you guys, I was a fundraiser. I was an event planner. I was a project manager. I love to help people. And that was my, in college, I had a communications degree and a business minor, and I just wanted to be in community relations or nonprofit or something where I could help others. And once I realized that this business was my ticket to help people one by one, because I was feeling, I didn't have a story at first, but I just absorbed everybody else's stories and used them till I wrote my own. Cast that vision. And I was just raising the bar so much higher every single day for our team that they couldn't help but just try to level up with me. So yeah, that was the crazy thing. 2 months after that green carpet, or about a month and a half after that green carpet, I was at what was called Dash at the time, which was a top 100 leadership retreat. It was in St. Pete, Florida. And I had actually qualified for it as a triple diamond. That was the only triple that had qualified. My last month of qualification was when I was a pres. And that at that event, they were doing a big giveaway, and the top 20 earners from the last month had gotten to like draw the names for it. And I mean, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anybody. I had all these like Mark and Mike and Pam being like, "Oh my gosh, we've heard about you." What's that? I was like, "You have? Hi, I don't know what the big deal is." I didn't have any idea like what people were making. And then I found out I was the number 7 earner in the company. So I went from a brand new distributor to 14 months later, I was number 7 in the entire company. And you guys, that wasn't luck. I mean, y'all, I think I gained 30 pounds in that year. I did not sleep. My stress was through the roof. My relationship with my husband, I wouldn't say was strained, but we weren't exactly snuggling on the couch at night because I was on my computer. I didn't see my best friend as much. We didn't cook at home. I mean, half the night my dinner consisted of like hummus and crackers and a bottle of wine after she went to bed. Like that, talk about unhealthy habits. But it wasn't forever. And I knew that I had something special. I had some kind of momentum. I was so on fire from this business that I just couldn't stop. I wouldn't stop. Haley, it's okay to be stuffing your face with chicken. It's totally okay. So what's the script? Someone's asking me, what's the script for asking someone to join your business? You guys, I have used almost the exact same script, tiny little variations for years. It is simple as, hey girl, hope you're doing well. Love the pictures of your kid, wedding, house, puppy, whatever. If you want to make it personal, don't know if you've seen what I've been up to lately, but every time I see you, I think you'd be really, really great at what I do. Have you ever thought about earning a little extra money on the side? I'll send that message to Courtney, you guys, I've sent that same message very, very closely for 7.5 years. And every single day I send it, I still get if they message me back and they're like, "Oh, what do you do? Oh yeah, what's it?" They're on my list. And they never come off until they join. Courtney, I've been like all over the place and just pretty much rambled for 20 minutes straight.
I'm just like, I feel like the emoji that's like just sitting here with heart eyes. That's just how I feel every time you talk. It's great. I'm just like, yes, please keep going. You guys, did you hear her? 14 months and she was number 7. 7 in the company. Okay,
It's
7.
pretty crazy.
Not like 307. 7. Top 10, 14 months in. Okay, mind blown right then and there. So I know everyone's wondering because I went from the 3 questions that I sent you to over 50. We're not going to do the 50 questions.
Rapid fire, rapid fire.
Ready, set, go. No, so many people said, how the heck did you move so fast? So I know it was just like, listen, I know y'all heard that she's like, I was stressed. I gained weight. I didn't hang out with my friends. My kid probably didn't eat the best. Like, it's fine. But those short term sacrifices gave her this long term freedom lifestyle. Okay. So just hear that. But any tips and tricks you have for people who just started and they're like, you know what, I'm ready to do whatever it takes, because that was another thing she said. She was ready to do whatever the heck her enroller told her to do, whether she wanted to do it or not. So for those of you that when your enroller's like, hey, do a TikTok, and you're like, no, I don't want to do a TikTok, just do it. Okay, just do what they say. But tell us your tips and tricks for that type of thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, my enroller said post 3 times a day. I posted 3 times a day. She said, put wrap results up every day. I put wrap results up every day. As far as like messaging a ton of people and stuff, that was all me. That was just me being like, if I want to do this, I am going to do it. I'm going to do it fast. First thing, know your chart, know your chart, know your chart, know your chart, because if your chart is your roadmap. How can you get to a new destination if you don't have a map to get there? How can you know? Like literally, if you're going to take a cross country road trip, you're going to be like, I'm winging it. Got this. We're fine. No, you're going to have a map. You're going to have directions. Your chart is your map. You better know it. You better breathe it. You better update it every freaking day. My chart was up at all times on my computer, and I always kept just anybody who talked to me got put on the list on the side of it. So as far as how to move so fast, there's a brilliant businessman and motivational speaker named Jim Rohn, and this quote has resonated. I listened to him on one of those CD audiobooks. They used to sell it for the It Works, like where we used to buy shirts and stuff. They used to also sell self-development CDs to listen to in your car. And he said, you can lead a team of thousands, but you can't carry two on your back. Thousands of people marching through the streets, right? But could you carry two people on your back at the same time? No. So I built, I asked, I built into my chart every time. I always looked at the next chart. I cannot tell you how many people I have watched miss Emerald because they're looking at Diamond. They stay Ruby for an extra month because they forgot to look at their Emerald chart and they missed something on it. And they were like 300 BV from Diamond, but they were Ruby because they forgot to look at the Emerald chart. Like, you got to go one chart at a time, fill in the next boxes. Always, always, always place with your mind. Do not place distributors with your heart. Oh, she's working so hard. I'll just give one to her. Oh, she's my friend from college. I'll give one to her. You guys want to know when I did that? One time. Her name's Amy Spence, and it cost me $50,000 in bonuses. She's the only person I've ever been like, oh, she was like one of my first ETs, and she was there the night I met Amy. So like, I'll put her under her. Guys, Amy ended up under my heavy leg of my business. Had I put Amy on my top line or under Tom where I knew she needed to go, I would have gone presidential a month earlier and earned $50,000 bonus. And Lord knows I would have been even higher than number 7. Because she would have been at the top of my chart instead of like 6 legs down or 6 layers down. Anyway, always, always, always place with your head just into the charts. No, do they have their, first customers? What are they doing? Now it's all about host posts, getting the host posts right away, getting them trained right away. But knowing that you are leading, you are not managing, but help those first month, help. Still, you guys, I have distributors who have been in years and still, hey, I got this question. Yeah, of course, help. You are a friend, you are a mentor, you are a coach. You are not a recruiter. If you treat this business like you're a recruiter, you will have no team. But I did not go presidential in a year by myself. You guys, had I been trying to fill those whole charts and place every loyal customer, you guys, I was signing distributors so fast over the first year, customers were only ever placed for a fast start or to fill volume where it needed a chart. I never was like, oh, just keep a few. It was over a year in the business before I kept any more than my first 4 customers. So I went fast because I found people to go fast with me. And you say, well, where's my runners? Where's my runners? How can I find my runners? You have to be a runner to attract a runner. Start running. Start running. If you want a certain level, a certain caliber, you have to be that first and show them. And you don't have to be like, I'm doing this and I'm doing this, and here's my sheet every day. Your energy will bring them to you. That they will level up to you. They will see that in your boom chats, you are boom, 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 rolling, rolling, signing. Hey, this girl I signed, she's got her 6. This girl I signed, she's got her 6. All that. You just have to start running, and they will run with you. Some will, some won't. I tell my girls, everybody who joins me, I say, I will match your pace. If you want to race to the top of this business, I am going to be running as hard as I can next to you. You want to walk? I'm going to walk. You want to sit on the bench? I'm sorry, I got a game to play. I cannot sit on the bench with you. I cannot beg you to do this. You guys, if you beg them to join, you will beg them to work. Stop spinning your wheels. Go ask someone new. And the time you're like, oh, all these people told me no 6 months ago, I should probably go message them all. No, go message 20 new people. Your network, if you do not have 5,000 friends on your friends list, you don't have a big enough network. Go find more people. Go delete the ones who told you no, or the ones who used to be on your team. Y'all, the ones that told you no, maybe they're going to come back to you too. And that's fine. You're going to know what's right for you. So, here's the deal, guys. I signed a lot of people. I had people working. I had some joggers. I didn't have runners. I did not have big runners to start. And I had, and so it was December, I was double diamond, and I had built a lot of that chart myself. Absolutely. People signed a few here, signed a few here. I'm filling in the gaps. And I had signed about 31 distributors, I think, before I signed someone on New Year's Eve. I had her info, and I begged her to sign because it was double fast start bonuses for December. So I was like, can I just put you in? And so I signed her. She was number 32. And then number 34 and number 36 were Lauren Casmatis, Jenny Thomier, and Amy Spence. How they all joined in 33-day period, I have no idea. But this is something I heard very early on, is that there are 52 cards in a deck. There are only 4 aces. Y'all, I had turned 30 cards, and I had drawn 2s, 3s. I had drawn some 9s, some 8s, but I signed Lauren, Jenny, and Amy all in the same month. They didn't all take off running. Lauren and Amy both did. Jenny took 7 months to go ruby. Jenny took a year to go diamond. But she showed up. She worked hard. And you guys, to this day, she is one of the most consistent, unbelievable leaders on my team. She is one of my best friends in this business. I talk to her all the time. We are true partners. But I could have discounted her because she didn't go fast enough. So don't always look at how fast someone is enrolling, how fast they are promoting. It's who are they inside? Where are their ethics? Where's their integrity? Where's their work ethic? Are they showing up? Are they contributing? Are they invested? But Amy and Lauren both took off. They were in 2 separate legs of my business. Therefore, as they started taking off, absolutely, I was helping them. And I can't even tell you how many endless hours of questions and on the phone and drawing charts on napkins at a restaurant. I mean, endlessly trying to teach them as fast as their teams were growing. But I was able to go grow new. And at that time, going ambassador actually took 5 legs, not 3. So every promotion, you had to have those legs stable enough that you could go move on and grow new. Go move on and grow new. And so I couldn't have done that alone. I went ambassador in 21 months, you guys. I could never, ever, ever have done that. Ambassador chart at that time was like 574 boxes. I had over 10,000 active distributors on my team when I went ambassador. The minimum volume to go ambassador is 250,000. My volume the month I went ambassador was almost 2 million because I had workers. I had Amy just popped presidentials for like a year. Just she went present like a minute. I don't know. She went present like 5 months. And then like everybody under her did too. And do you guys know why her team did that? Because they didn't know any different. Their leader was doing it, so they did it too. It was like if somebody, every person who joined that team went ruby their first month and diamond their second, because that's what they were told to do. They would sign up and they'd say, okay, great. Here's the message you need to send. You need to get 4 customers in the next 24 hours. This is the message you send. This is the product you asked for. This is how you sign them up. Got it? They'd say, got it. They'd, okay, when you have your 4 in the next 24 hours, come back to me. Okay, great. Now you're going to go go Ruby. So we're going to get 3 distributors. You have 48 hours to go sign up 3 distributors. Got it? Got it. They were told that they didn't know any different. Same as me. I didn't know any different. So that's why that team grew. So Amy led her team. Lauren led her team. Jenny was under my husband. She led her team. I was filling in the gaps and then growing new. So if you want to go fast, you cannot carry it. And I know that that's like, but how? How do I find them? My team is all done. What are you speaking out into the universe? You guys know what my journal says every morning? My team is full of distributor signing machines. My team is hungry for success. My team is filled with true leadership, friendship, and loyalty. Customers are flooding to my team's inboxes. My team cannot get enough of this business. My team is hungry. If I sat here and I'm like, my team's a bunch of losers, they're a bunch of duds, nobody can do anything but me, what do you think I'm going to attract? Losers and duds. Amy Spence had a funk. She told Pam, my team's full of duds. And Pam said, you're being a dud. Pam straight up called her. She said, you be a dud. And Amy called me. She's like, Pam called me a dud. And I was like, well, dude, shoe fits. You know, what are you putting out there? Yeah, they won't all. They won't all. You guys have to trust. I mean, you got to trust in God or the universe or energy or whatever you believe in, and know that every day when you shut your eyes, did you leave it all on the table? Did you truly give it your all? Did you say, man, I killed it today? I did all my things. If at the end of the day, maybe stop making a checklist you check off. Maybe just start making a list of everything you accomplish at the end of the day and look at it. And if your new team member said, here's what I got done today, would you be happy or would you be pissed? So you need to act the way you want your team members to act. Yeah, stop checking off a to-do list. Start just writing your list. Start writing down what you accomplished. Maybe you say, I need to accomplish 10 things today. Well, at 8 p.m., when you've written down 2, you're going to go to bed or are you going to get it done? And I am not saying I just need you guys to hear me that I am not advocating for you to sacrifice your health. I am not saying that I did this in the right way. If you all know me, that my priorities endlessly will be sleep, healthy food and fueling my body, working out 6 to 7 days a week, time away from my phone with my children. You guys, that's 7.5 years in this business, and I've earned that. You know what else is non-negotiable? Showing up at 5:30 a.m. for a power hour every single weekday with my team. I don't care if nobody shows up with me, I am there. Journaling every single day. Personal development every single day. And I don't care if it is, personal development. Maybe that's not necessarily about business. Like today, I listened to this unbelievable podcast about how, well, you know what can really go off the rails in this business if you're not careful? Your mental health. Like, you could really start to feel like overwhelmed or anxious or get that negative self-talk. So like Yeah, I didn't listen to Ed Milet or Rachel Hollis today, but I listened to Tom Bilyeu interview this like brilliant doctor about nutrition and mental health. Like that was my personal growth today. Because personal development doesn't need to be how to sign more loyal customers. It's how can you improve who you are in your mind today? How can you make sure? So I got off that podcast and I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I could add this and this, and that's going to make me a better person and make me more energized and chill out my anxiety and those sort of things. And that's going to make me better for tomorrow. Maybe then it's something about money mindset. Maybe it's something about starting your morning better. Maybe it's something about a sleep ritual. Um, but these are things that are non-negotiable. But I will say protecting your mental and physical health is crucial to long-term success in this business, and making sure that you understand that this is not your life. There is no such thing as a coffee emergency. If someone says, I want coffee, and you are in the middle of playing a puzzle with your child, don't you dare pick up your phone and tell your kid to wait while you place a loyal customer order. Don't. Tell your kid, I can't wait to finish this puzzle with you. As soon as we're done, mommy's going to take a 3-minute break and then we can play our next game. Okay. And I promise you guys, your coffee customer will still be there. If they're not, they weren't actually going to order. That was my number one downfall, probably my first 2-3 years in this business. I thought everything was a wrap emergency. My phone was connected, and it took a 4-year-old ripping my phone out of my hand and saying, Mommy, look at me, pay attention to me, before I really got it. You want to know how to rip your heart out? Right there. So there's no such thing as a coffee emergency. When you're working, work. Be present. Be focused. Answer your messages. When you're paying your bills, pay your freaking bills. Stop trying to answer a text. Stop. Sit down, do your budget, pay your bills. When you're with your kids, be with your kids. You guys know about 3 to 7 every day, you probably won't get an answer from me. You know, the best thing I ever did once I grew into this business was I turned my notifications off of my Facebook Messenger. My phone doesn't tell me when I have a messenger message. I don't get a chat bubble. I don't get a ding. When I choose to work, I click on Messenger and I answer my messages. And then I sit down at my desk in here every night and I try to clear my inbox before I go to bed. Some days it happens, some days it doesn't. You know what happens when you stop answering your team instantly? They start figuring it out themselves. You're enabling them. If every question they ask you that this is the other. If somebody says, how much is the coffee? Don't tell them the answer. Tell them where to find the answer. If someone says, how would you answer this? Say, typically I answer this, or this is my personal opinion. Or maybe, what are you thinking? Let me help you answer it. Teach a man to fish, right? Versus give a man a fish. Same goes in this business. That is a huge, huge piece of growing a team quickly. If they're all dependent on you for everything, if you keep going that fast, you'll drown. You can't. Think about if you were treading water and everybody's around you treading water, right? You're all just treading, going, treading water, working your business. Well, what if you were trying to do it with like 5 people hanging on to you for everything you did? They needed all your power and all your energy. Sink instantly. Also, when they're treading water and building their own business, they're going to have so much more energy. They're going to have such a better relationship with your team. I promise you, if you build someone completely to diamond and then you're like, okay, girl, go, that team will fall apart. I've done it. I've continued to do it. It's a hard habit to break. Pam Souter said it best to me. I said, I had these 2 doubles and I went ambassador and they both just completely crumbled. And she said, well, did you build them? And I said, yeah. So, well, then there was never really anything to begin with, because it wasn't a team. It was simply a group of people. So creating team, camaraderie, community, empowering people with knowledge, empowering people with, bestowing to them that they are worth it. The worthiness is, and you have to believe that for you before your team's ever going to believe it for themselves.
Oh my gosh. So good. So good. Like, I don't even know what to say. You guys put a 1 in the chat if you've built a team and they died and you're like, what the heck? Yeah, we all do it. It's okay. It's okay. We learn. we move on. We learn and we move on. Okay, so
Girls, you don't even want to see my e-suite. There's so many people who are like tree viewers, like just sad. When they archived tree viewer, it was like the best thing ever because it got rid of so many people.
it was great. I remember that day. I was like, oh, nice.
I
Um,
can see everyone again.
yes. Okay, so we had a ton of questions about like duplications, and so this question made me laugh. They said, so you're very clearly known for your cabs. Can you share how to maximize them after enrolling distributors? How do you teach your newbies to sign their own customers when you mass enroll?
I'm not a mass enroller. Number one, I went ambassador in 21 months, steps to success. I have had bigger enrollment months. Tell you my biggest month this year was 10 distributors. It was in March. I'm not a mass enroller. My biggest month I've ever had was like 25, and I had like $20 kits or something crazy like that. Well, you better believe that so a cab is a bonus you get once you're diamond, you guys, and it's like an extra fast start, for lack of a better way to explain it. Once you go diamond, you better learn that comp plan. That's all I gotta say. Learn the comp plan, know it in and out, and how you make all your money, because you can make so much money in our comp plan. Holy cow. And if you have cab questions or diamond specific questions, message me, because I will talk you through them, because I love talking about our comp plan. Anyway, so how do you get them to do their own? In this season of business, it's chicken noodle soup list and host post, and have them doing one host post. Which one is easiest? You know, like for me, I love teaching them hair, skin, and nails. Girls love like hair, skin, and nails is like such an easy. People are like, oh, I do want to grow my hair out. Yeah, I can do that for 3 months. Cool. Like the only hard thing with hair, skin, and nails is that you do have a lot of fall off after 3 months. Cleanse is another amazing one that gets a ton of people's attention. But you do have to have a little bit more of a conversation with it, because it's a very easy upsell to a weight loss package. So you just need to make sure you're giving the person enough information about it. But here's where we really fall down when we're trying to get our new distributors to get their customers, is we give them way too much information. We've trained them too much. We have them talk about 17 different products. Give them a script and tell them you'll teach them more once they have their 6. And then I tell them, every message you get back, I want you to screenshot to me, and I'm going to help you answer it. And those days, I will tell you, I have my phone with me, and that's okay. You know, I'll tell my kids, hey, mommy has another mommy friend who is really doing good in her business today. So I'm going to have my phone with me a little bit more so I can answer all her questions, because I'm going to help her, right? Because we help our friends. And they're like, yeah, that makes sense, mom. We help our friends. You are not a recruiter. You are a mentor. You are a friend. You are a coach. They trusted you when they signed up with you. You better help them. It's your job to teach them. You guys, I promise you, if for 3 days straight you do nothing but give them responses to answers and tell them to save them, or then when they send one, say, hey, look back at that one I sent you 2 times ago. That would work here too. By the end of about 3 days, if they're in it, they're going to be answering them themselves. Or they'll send you a screenshot and be like, hey, I got through this conversation. What do you think? And you're like, great. Be like, I think that was really awesome. You get to change this, this, and this. You know, but you're doing really well. Those sort of things.
So good. That's so helpful. How many
Just stop
people?
overtraining them.
Oh my gosh. I definitely put a 2 in the chat if you're like, I've definitely overtrained people. You're like, here is 7,042 steps to complete in the next 12
And
minutes.
6 webinars to watch.
Yeah.
And yeah, no. Chicken noodle soup list, which is asking closest friends, family, whoever, to take a look at what you're offering and pick a product or 2 to try for 90 days so they can start building their portfolio. And then host post. 1 giveaway post up on their wall. They get all the people to answer. And then you send them, here's what you send them. Here's what they post. They all post the exact same thing. Teach them how to turn off their timeline thing, you know, their timeline settings, so they don't end up with 47 of the same posts on their timeline. Show them how to save them in a collection. You want to know the easiest way to do this? Get on a freaking FaceTime or a Zoom with them within 24 hours of them joining you. I know it's 2020 and we all hate talking on the phone. I know it's easier to text, but I will tell you, this has been a conversation with the ambassadors a lot lately. The number one like key indicator for someone getting their six and staying in this business more than 3 months is getting on a FaceTime with them within the first 24 hours. Like resounding across the ambassadors. And people are like, I hate it. And it may even just be like a 5-minute FaceTime that's like, I just want to make sure we do each other face to face. And I'm just so excited for you. And here's your first goals. And I'm going to text you a few things. And then like Amy Spence does it on a Zoom. So then right there, she can say like, here's an example of what a host post is. Here's what it means. Here's where you save it in your collection. She shares her phone right to the Zoom. She'll do like 20 minutes. Get on. They need to hear your voice and see your face within 24 hours of them joining the business. It creates trust, it creates friendship, and it creates loyalty subconsciously. And that's why they will stick.
Oh my gosh. So good. It's so funny that you say that because when you say that, I'm like, wow, my like strong people are the ones that I FaceTimed with when they first started. Anyone else, like you're like, yeah, that's definitely how it is. Like the people that like I know because I FaceTime with them, I talk to them a lot, like those are my people. And there's a reason for that. So, okay, we have a couple minutes left. So I just want to know, like, if you could go back in time. Sorry if you hear my puppy. He's scratching on the door because I've been in here and he's mad at me. Um, sorry if you hear that. But if you could go back in time to when you first started, what is one thing that you wish you didn't do? And what is one thing you wish you had done?
Oh, that's hard. Wish I didn't do. I wish I hadn't cared so much what everybody else thought. Man, I wish I had had the confidence in myself to be proud of this business from day one. Because when I promoted to Ruby, I was so freaking proud. When I got my first customers, I was so freaking proud. And you guys, I struggled to get my first 4 customers. Like it was hard, you know. Um, I I wish I had had the confidence in myself just as a person to like be more proud of what I was doing. Like I hadn't needed, it's like I needed that $10,000 bonus to like validate something, if that makes sense. Um, so I wish that I wish I hadn't cared so much about what other people thought. And then what I wish, wait, what I do that backwards? That's what's what's the other part of the question?
So you said what you wish you hadn't done, but what do you
Okay.
wish you would have done? Like if you could go back and
And
be
what
like,
I wish I would have done.
yeah, like if you wish you like if you could have started doing something earlier, what would you have done? Like for me, it's personal development because I thought it was like voodoo witchcraft when I started. Like I
Yeah,
was
for
like,
sure.
uh-uh.
The only thing I listened to and stuff was like show me the monies and like training. I listened to like training. I
Yep.
didn't read a personal development book until 9 months into the business after I got triple. And I read Beach Money from a beach in Jamaica, vacation that I paid for in cash for my husband and I, where I got my first 5-figure check. And I just remember crying and crying in our hotel room. Because you guys, I made an under average check every single month until I went triple. I never hit the average on the income chart. And I could have quit, you know. But from my double diamond check to my first triple diamond check was an $8,500 raise. So talk about like a wake up call of like, and that was the first clue that I realized I had to like really, really, really know the compensation plan. I needed to know exactly why I had made that raise and how I was going to keep making those raises. Um, but yeah, personal growth, personal development is a huge one. Um, gosh,
It's a hard question. I know.
it is. I wish, here's what I wish I would have done. I wish I would have read a Dave Ramsey book. I'm going to be really honest. I've made a lot of money in this business and I was not always smart with it. I got inducted into that Millionaires Club and I was like, well, shit, I blew it. Where to go? I don't even have it. It's a lot of vacations and a lot of fun and a lot of fancy dinners. And like, where is it? I wish I had read a Dave Ramsey book and really, really, really understood going debt free and the value of debt free. You know, I was raised by parents who always invested and didn't honestly believe in debt free because it was like using debt to leverage. And, you know, they were very, very, very financially smart, but they were, oh, you use this to your advantage and you leverage this and it's tax this. And yeah, Ashley Mayfield's culture on that is incredible. Um, and I wish I had read that because as when checks go up really, really fast and you start making a lot of money, it's easy to spend a lot of money and it's easy to feel like it's never going to end. And I wish the Total Money Makeover is the, if anybody's like looking at debt free or just more financial stability, Total Money Makeover is amazing. Dave Ramsey on any social media. And his daughter is Rachel Cruz, who I don't know if you guys follow her, CRUZ. She's just like a little more feminine and a little more modern than Dave Ramsey, and she's awesome on Instagram. I really, really like her. And she like works for the Ramsey Corporation. But I wish I had like Dave Ramsey did and really done the debt-free thing. And because now I just say, you know, as I go on my next run, as I make that insane money, as I go to the top 10 again, I'll know better, so I'll do better. But I really wish I had done that early on. And I really try to be very, very open as my team grows, to tell them to be smart, you know, to make the smarter decisions, to don't jump at buying the car, to, you know, save money for your taxes, those sort of things. So
You're so
yeah,
practical. So practical. I love
you
it.
know, well, I wasn't.
But now,
I
but
wasn't
it's
there for a while.
it's like a thing that no one thinks about. But it's so true because like when I had my first double check, I blew it. And then like literally within a week, I blew my whole double check and I was like, oh boy, like that did not go the way that I wanted it to go. But when you get way more money into your account than you've ever seen before, you don't know what to do with it. And that is how it's going to leave you and not come back for a while until you figure out how to manage that amount of money. So, oh my, so good. Okay.
So that's the last thing I just gotta say this is,
Yeah.
so during all different seasons of your business, like I've seen obviously like mind-blowing checks. I've never had a black diamond check, still working on that. But I've seen some very, very large numbers. But I'll tell you, when you know the compensation plan and know where it's coming from, you'll be able to grasp it better. For mine was all cabs. I had a huge cab run. But when you're on a cab run, which means your team is just exponentially growing at an insane rate, and you're just getting bonus, 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 bonus. Well, bonuses are one time, they're not residual. And as fast as a cab run can start, a cab run can stop. And so you're checking like drop in half overnight because like your team stopped enrolling, and it's not a bad thing. Like you're still making massive money. But I I will never forget one time like commissions were posted and I like had to pull over the car because my check had dropped significantly. And y'all, it still was in the 20,000s in like December, like in the slowest month of the year. And I was so ungrateful. I remember the next month it like going back up closer to 30 and being like, insert income disclosure here. And like being like, oh, thank God. And it's like, who the hell do I think I am that I think I even need that kind of money? And I was really ungrateful for it. And I watched my business change. And another leader um said that she was really going through a similar thing once, and she went to open her paycheck and it had gone down and she was really, really down. And she like very, very audibly heard God say, if I can't trust you to be grateful for this, how can I trust you with more? And she said like it was audible to the point of her being like, what? Where did that voice? She was alone in her house. And she's like, I've never heard it. And so every month, well, first I journal about abundance and money mindset. Oh my gosh, if you don't follow Pam's outer and work on your money mindset every day. Oh my gosh, Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, incredible book, incredible, incredible, incredible. We do a whole other podcast or a whole other Zoom on money mindset. But every month before I open my paycheck, I just speak a little prayer to myself about how grateful I am and how I'm so abundantly blessed and how my abundance is allows me to bless others. And that's just really changed my mindset too. And getting my spouse on the same page, and like paying off debt and paying off cars and being really smart now and saving for big goals. Like, yeah, the money thing I could do a whole nother Zoom about, but
Whole nother Zoom. But okay, let's finish off with one last thing you could say to someone to really breathe that belief into them that although we are nearing the end of the year, there's still so much time to push for your goals, to still promote. It doesn't have to be slow season. Like pour into
it's
that.
not. Slow season's a myth.
Yes.
Slow season. You guys, I went double diamond in November. I remember that December I signed 7 distributors. I just got off a Zoom last night with Amber Parker, and she said that the things corporate has planned are like the biggest she's ever seen for the end of the year for November, December. And I will tell you guys, and I've been on both sides of this, that on January 22nd, the last day of conference, which every single person on the Zoom better have a ticket to conference and be planning to watch it. Like, not half watch it while your kids are in the room. Like, pretend you're out of town. Go get a freaking hotel room if you have to. You need to, I just lost my train of thought, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So there's going to be some sort of insane announcement, and you're going to want you're going to be ready to harvest, right? There's going to be an insane announcement. There's going to be an insane bonus. There's going to be something just bananas. And especially because conference sets the pace for the year, and they know that having to do it virtually, like they're going to have to set a pretty freaking strong pace. So if you are not busting your tail these last 70 days of the year to get every system you want, every list formed, I would challenge you. Oh, this sounds like a good challenge. I would challenge you. Pick a number. Maybe it's 100, maybe it's 200, maybe it's 1,000. There's 70 days left of the year. What if you added 5 to 10 people to your PDT list every day? Not signed them. I don't want you to sign them. But you've asked them and they've said, tell me more. If you get 5, so you probably have to ask what, like 20 to 30 people to get like 5 tell me mores. But if you did that every day, you'd have 350 people on your list on December 31st. 350 people to say, oh my gosh, I just left our national conference. This is mind blowing. We have XYZ new product, and we have an incredible bonus available for new team members. Bonus, it's $20 to start with me today. Are you in? It's your harvest. You can't harvest if you don't plant seeds. A farmer will stare at an empty field if he didn't put in the work, plant, to till, to plow, to water, to do all the things. You guys, the planting the seed is the asking. All that maintenance, that sunshine, that water, that everything, that's your consistency. You've planted that seed by asking them. And then they're watching you. They're watching your story. They're watching you share your story every day. They're watching you make your coffee every day. They're watching you post about hair testers every day. I mean, I can't preach it enough that this is the time, because I've done it both ways. I've been that girl at conference that's like, shit, I have no one to message. And I've been that girl at conference that's like, oh, game on, let's go. Let's freaking go. And I cannot preach it enough that this is the time to step on the gas. I know it's crazy. I know 2020 has been exhausting emotionally, physically. I know that we are over it, and we are homeschooling, and we are working from home, and we have family that's stressed, and we have family we haven't seen, and I get it. I'm there. You kidding me? I have 3 young kids and parents that live across the country who are high freaking risk, so I can't even see them. Like, I get it. But if you slack off, one day of inactivity takes about 3 days to get back. So you're like, just take another breather. Take a breather. Your breather will lead to a break this time of year. And then your break's almost impossible to come out of. Little steps, baby steps, consistency. Stop checking off your to-do list and start make your list. What did you get accomplished today? What can you be proud of today? What did you do today? And maybe some days that's like, I got up 10 host posts and I wrote my content for the week and I'm a total badass and I made all these stories. And maybe some days it's like, I took a shower and I took a breath. And like, that's okay. But, it's about balance, but maybe then like after you take a shower and take a breath, then you go write a post about life and just share your story and share your heart, just be vulnerable and be honest this time of year and just be so freaking real about every tiny little blessing and just plant those seeds. Because if you step on the gas right now, today, commit to it right now, you will thank yourself in January.
Oh my gosh.
If you slack off, I mean, it's hard to pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
And match everybody else's pace.
It's so true, you guys. Last year, I remember it was around mid-November, no, mid-December, because it was right before Christmas. And I remember telling Matthew, my now husband, that I was like, 2020 is going to be huge for us. Like, I just knew it. And his account, y'all, it was not taking off. I put so many distributors there and nothing was happening. Crickets, okay? And I just knew, I was like, I'm going to plant seeds. Things are going to happen. And in February, he was executive. By May, he was double diamond. Okay? You don't know when your harvest is coming, but you plant the seeds and you start now. And don't wait to promote and be like, well, there's going to be a bonus coming in January, so I'm going to wait and promote then. Guess what? The double diamond bonus is going to be bigger than the diamond bonus. So,
yeah, and Lord knows I've seen Mark pull out bonuses in November, December. Like, never, ever, ever, ever wait to promote. Ever.
Yeah. Don't do it. Okay.
The momentum that comes from promoting is so much greater than any bonus you might get.
Yeah. So I hope this was so helpful for you, Allie. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You just spoke so much life into me, into our team. My messages is like blowing up. I have like 47 unread messages. But thank you guys so much for hopping on.